Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicole. This is Puka Dog. There's Puppy Finn. They're both crashed right out, and we've had a really nice morning. We took them for a walk, and now they just finished helping water the garden, and now crashed out. So thank you so much for joining. If you're following along in this series, today is day 8. What? So exciting. If not, you can just be doing this class whenever you like. So thank you so much for joining. Today's class is all about tapas, which is the word that means breaking off of our impurities. So one of the best ways to do that is to do 3 yoga poses every day. So that's my intention, to be your guide, and for 30 days we can do something yogic every single day. If not, think about doing maybe 3 yoga poses per day. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, but if you're like, oh, I didn't do my yoga today, that was a suggestion one of our teachers gave us, 3 poses per day. So let's arrive in a seated position, nice and comfortable on your yoga mat. Make sure you're wearing loose, comfortable clothing, and no matter how you're feeling right now, it's my intention we're gonna feel better by the end of the class. So why don't we just sit in a nice tall position, take your hands and bring your sitting bones back, and let's just find a nice tall spine and just feel that nice alignment of your big, beautiful spinal column. Notice if you were kind of leaning one way or another. Find that big, deep, beautiful breath. Notice if you're a little bit up in the head or a little bit down. Text neck, that's where we look down all the time because we're on our devices. So let's go ahead and just release that right away. We're just going to make 3 circles with the nose, whichever direction feels good to start. And then we're going to go back the other way. So thank you so much for joining, whether you're doing 30 days sequentially or just joining in any day. It's my pleasure to be your tour guide for this beautiful yoga. So coming back to center and just pause. Let's just bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Just guide your shoulders down and then lift the head and go the other way. We'll do 2 more times each direction, and if there's somewhere that feels really nice to just put some pressure, give yourself a little acupressure from the inside out, then please feel free to adjust or stay somewhere that feels really good for you today. And then come back to center. Good, we're going to take our arms and swim them right behind us and interlace the hands as much as comfortable. And then we're going to just bring them down behind our back and just lift the chin. You might raise up the hands just a little bit. 1 more breath. And again, just going in that reverse direction of text neck. They say in, I think it's something like 5 years, you get 1,700 extra pounds of head pressure on your neck by looking down. Good, so that's a very nice way to start. Let's do a seated spinal twist while we're here. So we're going to take the right hand up and over to the left knee, and then just swing that left arm behind you. Place your fingers on the floor. Try not to collapse into that hand. Nice tall spine, and just soften your face. So the intention for today is to burn off our impurities. And that means that we're going to come back to center next breath and go to the right. That means that having a daily practice like yoga or qigong or walking or whatever is super, super good for you. 1 more breath, and it just helps to give your life that little bit of structure and to make sure that you're checking in with your higher self every day. Good, let's come back to center. Keep the breath nice and long and smooth. Good, and then we're going to gently float up onto our hands and knees. So yeah, that was such a good reminder of just, okay, I don't want to do yoga every day. What am I going to do? Well, I'll start doing a 30-day yoga class, and that'll at least get me motivated. So arrive with your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and we're just going to activate now into our sunbird. Right off the bat, we're going to get going. So let's take the left leg behind us, curl the toes, and then right arm extends out past your head. So see how you feel here. You might just do a little walking, rocking back and forth on that back toe. Come to center, pause, engage your core area, and then lift up through that back foot if it feels appropriate today. Look at something not moving. I handily have this little rainbow right in front of me. 1 more breath. Good, and then we're gonna lower back down onto all fours. Let's do the other side. Stretch your right leg behind you. Again, curl your toes, get nice and settled here. Maybe this is your pose today. And then we're gonna lift the left arm if available, and then bringing up those right toes. So hold your core, one more breath here. This is the mythical sunbird that arrives from the forest burning down, the new shoots of growth. Next breath, let's lower down mindfully, hand and knee, come back to the floor. Good. The next thing we're gonna do is called hovering table. So this is a variation of plank. It's a variation of this table position you're in. So try to make sure your spine is flat. Smile. Find that inner smile just in case you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. This morning it was so warm here, I was joking it's gonna send me into menopause. So curl your toes, engage core, and lift your knees. Hovering table. Just want to try the variation with feet flat. You can do it with feet flat as well. One more breath wherever you are. If you get a little shake, a little warmth, that's good. Nice long smooth breath, good. And then we're going to lower back down. Excellent. Now we're going to walk the feet underneath our body and come into a little squat position. So see how that feels for you. You can always pivot from side to side. And my intention here today is to just get us through at least 3 poses, new ones, fun, different, and then we can make our way on to the rest of our day, or perhaps we're ready for bed. So let's just take a moment. We're going to slowly stand up so you can bend the knees, flatten your heels, and then start to roll the body up to standing. Good. So see how this feels to be in standing position, and we're going to come into our Tadasana, mountain pose. So I mentioned waking up feeling really hot. Did I mention I was grumpy? So notice how you are when you wake up. Notice the quality of your breathing, and just see if you can find a nice long smooth breath a few times every day, no matter what you're doing. It doesn't have to be in your yoga class. So let's do that for couple more counts, just long, smooth breath in your Tadasana, mountain pose. And it should feel really grounding here. If you smile and soften your face, that's fun too. And I noticed in my self-admitted grumpy mood that when my neighbor or a neighbor walked by and said hello, that you just soften your face and you smile and you say hello, and you feel better right away. So if you aren't already, maybe just smile, a little gentle smile. Maybe it starts from within. Let's press CV17. That's conception vessel number 17. It's an acupressure point in the center of your chest, right in your sternum, which is this hard, it's your Tarzan point, basically. It's right on top of your thymus. And we're just gonna press gently, and we're gonna think about something that makes us happy. And if not, if you can just create a beautiful smile, and think about something simple like, yay, I have running water. Yay, I have a roof over my head. Yay, I woke up today. And remember, the fastest way to get to joy is to experience gratitude. So gratitude for anything while you press CV17 in the middle of your chest helps to activate the heart and all the neurological heart tissue to find your joy. Good. Let's release the hands. We're going to walk the feet one leg length apart now. See, I'm already feeling better. So let's just find that nice one leg length apart. Now when I say that, I mean that's your leg length. So whatever the approximate length of your leg is, that's the space between your 2 feet. Okay, and today we're going to do a lateral side bend. So we're going to raise up the arms to shoulder level, and we're going to turn the right toes out 90 degrees. Good. So this also looks like the beginning of triangle pose, but in this case, we're going to straighten our right knee. So inhale, exhale, straighten that right knee down. And this looks familiar. We're in Hero's Pose 2 or Warrior 2. So notice what happens if your shoulders rise up, just create that space. You're looking out past your right extended arm. So we're coming into extended side angle, and this is how we get there. We're going to reach the right arm forward on the next breath, and then bend the elbow and lower it down to the knee on your exhale. Then find where you want to put your arm. So down, up, straight, or up overhead. Good. One more breath here, hold nice and strong, and if it's available, you can always bring your hand in front of the foot. Your extended side angle is up through the side body and out through the fingers. You can always take your bind if that's where you're at today. Good, now we're gonna charge up through that front leg, nice strong core. Inhale to come back up to warrior, and then we're gonna straighten that front knee. Good, lower the arms down. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Turn your right foot in, your left foot out. And again, try not to just turn over towards that leg. We wanna keep our hips facing forward even though our feet are in two separate angles. Good. Nice tall spine, smile, find your arms, lower your shoulders. On an inhale, you can bend that left knee. On an exhale, you sink down and find your nice comfortable place in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Then we go into Parshvottanasana. We reach the whole left arm over. We're gonna bend that elbow and come down, and then lower down your right arm, or up, or on an angle, out from your toes. So just a nice, long, smooth angle to just make sure you're not totally sinking into that knee. You can lift up the hand and make sure that you've got that good stance. One more breath. You can always take a bind here if that's where you're at today. Good, nice breath to charge up through the core, lift to come back up to standing, windmilling your arms straight. Good, and then we're gonna lower the arms down. Excellent, left foot steps in. We're gonna hang out here for just a breath. Good, and then we're gonna toe heel walk our feet together. Step jump at the end if you want. And then we're gonna actually lower down to the mat already. Yay! Nice sweet practice today, just focusing on 3 poses. The first pose we focused on was the extended side angle. Now we're gonna focus on bound angle. So this is where we bring the soles of your feet together, and as much as you can, you line up your feet, your toes, the ball of the foot, the heel, and you just, if you want, take a gentle moment to just pause and look at your feet. And we're going to also do an acupressure point here that prevents aging. So rejuvenation, we're going to go into kidney 3, it's called. So it's along the kidney meridian, and it's the 3rd point on the kidney meridian. So where it is right underneath the inside ankle bone. Your thumb basically can slide right up into it, and there's an indent there. Before your total Achilles, or heel or ankle, before that edge, right underneath your ankle bone, the medial malleolus area, if you know the anatomy, and you find that your hand just slips right under that ankle bone and your thumb presses into that point. Do it on both sides. I should mention too, this is also called butterfly pose. So think about the transformation of caterpillar metamorphosis to butterfly. Now I should mention this point can be very tender. Kidney 3, it helps prevent a lot of magical things like arthritis, aging, Alzheimer's, all that kind of stuff, incontinence. And kidney meridian relates to fear and anxiety versus joy and vitality, and just living your life, feeling really happy, grateful every day. So one more breath. And notice, if you haven't already, your posture. Make sure you're tall in the chest. You've got a smile on your face. And today's practice is about tapas, burning off of impurities. Good. So notice how that feels, and hopefully after a couple of moments of pressing and massaging into these acupressure points, they might actually reduce in tenderness just a little bit. And we'll see how that works out for us. Good, nice big breath, nice exhale, and think about the moth or the butterfly that you are becoming right now. Don't forget that all animals disease themselves. All caterpillars disease their entire body before they transform to butterflies. So knees are up, we're gonna cross the legs now, and we're gonna do one last posture today. We're going to do the cow's face posture, Gomukha Asana. So this one, we're gonna start whichever knee is in front Let's start with the right knee in front. So what you're gonna do is take your knee from the outside sitting position to facing straight ahead of you. And then you're gonna take your left leg and bring it up and over your right. So the first thing that happens here is my hip lifts right off the floor. I'm gonna do a little wiggle and jiggle and make sure that I've got a good, nice, balanced position through my hips. You can always put a block or a little pillow or a folded towel underneath the raised hip just to find that balance. Good. This might be your pose today, the cow's face. The option as well is to add the arms, so we can do that. If you have a strap or just even the sleeve of your sweater, that can be very nice as well. So you would put the strap in your right hand. So we're going to raise up our right arm. We're going to lift up through the shoulder with the other arm. Really lift that arm and then bend at the elbow. And walk your fingers down your back just a little bit. Take your left arm and you swim it in past your body, and then you're going to bend at the elbow. Now, my fingers don't touch yet, but if I do a little bit of wiggling and jiggling, or if I have a strap, you grab the strap, okay? So see how that feels, and you can always do a variation in the arms, where you just maybe cross your arms and give yourself a hug, or you don't have to activate the arms at all. Right arm is up, walk your fingers down, left arm is in, walk your fingers up, and then with time, perhaps one side might be more flexible than the other. One more breath wherever you are. Try not to collapse through the spine. If it does work for your practice, you can always do a mini forward fold. Good, so gently release your arms and gently release your legs. So that wasn't very graceful, but you saw what I did. All right, so you release the legs. Now, do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take our left knee and point it forwards. And we're going to bring our right leg up and over. Good. And then we're just going to make sure that we've got as much contact with our sitting bones as possible. So feet are flexed if that's available. Just really get into a space where you've got that activity. And then you're also noticing if you've got that space under one of your cheeks. So again, make sure you're nice and comfortable. Maybe you're in fire log instead, where your right leg is just on top. If it's available, you bring it down to the floor. Let's do the arms down. Left arm reaches up. Take your right hand and scoop up that shoulder, and then you bend at the elbow, walk your fingers down just a little bit. Same thing, you would have a strap in this hand if you want to do that. Then you bring your right arm in, bend at the elbow, and same thing, just a little walk or jiggle. Sometimes one side is so easy, and the other side is like, yeah, not gonna happen today. Takes time, takes practice. Hang out for 2 more breaths. Smile, find your ease, your sukha. Notice it's a warming pose. Relax off if there's any pain or tension. And then we can release the arms. Good, you can always do that little hug. Let's do it anyways. Then the other side, let's do it. And then we're gonna release that left leg. Excellent. So making sure we just do a little bit of core strengthening every single class. Thinking about activating your powerhouse no matter what you're doing, just in any physical activity or even in your day-to-day walking around. So we're gonna do boat pose, and then we'll lower to the mat, and then we're done. So let's take our legs up. Let's take the hands behind the knees. Just give yourself a nice squeeze or hug, see how that feels. Then release, and maybe you even clasp your hands and you get that action of, wait a sec, I've got something holding me up and I'm not working quite as hard. So activate core, your powerhouse, your hara, your dantian, this part, activate it, and when you're ready, you might release your hands. Let's hold for 3 breaths. And if you want to play with it, maybe, just maybe, you extend one leg or both and come into teaser pose. Let yourself shake and vibrate. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. 3rd breath, amazing. Lower your feet, go back to the floor with your feet, and then let's lower down in a nice, graceful, maybe 2 breaths. Pause partway and lift, and exhale and keep going. Oh, pause and lift. And then gently, with control and ease, just mindfully float your spine down to the mat. Good, and we're almost done for today. All right, tongue twisting. All right, so now you're lying on your back. We're gonna finish off with a nice knee and arm circle. So you're going to roll onto your left side, and you're gently just gonna make a pillow with your left arm. And we're going to circle our right arm. Again, coming back to text neck and just releasing some of that tension in the neck and the shoulders. See as much as you can that you keep your hand fairly close to the ground. Just a small movement. Good, and we'll do 4 in each direction. If you've got a dog, rescue dog number 1, beautiful Puka Shan. Her name's Puka Dog. She's named after puka shells. The puka shells that we would find in Hawaii. And then this one is named Finnegan after his foster family. And plus he's the cutest. And Finn suits him. Good, so when you're done 4 circles in both directions, I mentioned doing the leg as well, so just drop your right hand down, and we're just gonna circle that right leg 4 times one way. Try to stay nice and still in the rest of the body, and then go the other way. Puka was just pawing at this beautiful Lemurian quartz crystal, and in yesterday's class, I set up crystals all around the mat, and I didn't have the energy to take them away. Good. So let's bring the leg back, just pause, and then you're going to just very mindfully roll onto your back. Roll onto your right side. Same thing, make a little pillow with your arm. And we're going to circle the left arm around now. If it's too much to keep the body up, let yourself open. Let your whole chest open up to the floor. And again, just a really slow, mindful circle with that arm. Notice your range of motion. Notice if there's something that feels really uncomfortable. And when you've done 4 in one direction, just gently pause, keep the arm close to the ground and go the other way. And you might even get a few pets on your way around. And that was my favorite thing, is that my yoga instructor, my very first teacher, had her dog in the yoga studio. And that was, gosh, 16 years ago. All right, last circle. When you've done 4 in each direction, gently pause through that upper arm, through that left arm, and then we're just going to do the same thing. Small motion with the knee, circling around at the hip. And then we go the other way. And then you get to see a Kauai sunset on my legs. And when you've done 4, pause. We're gently going to roll onto our back. And then we're going to finish off our class. So let's just rub the hands together. Knees can stay up. Knees can straighten down to the floor. Smile, soften your face, and create an energy ball with your hands. Create an energy ball by rubbing your hands back and forth, side to side, circling. And then we're going to just find that nice energy inside the hands. Yes. Close your eyes if that's there for you. Sense and feel this beautiful energy forming between your hands, this ball of light, prana, chi, your energy. And we're going to use this ball for healing and ask that anywhere that we need healing energy today, we're going to send that ball of light. So slowly but surely, don't quite let your hands touch. Maybe you even round or cup the hands and fingers. If you can't feel anything, that's okay, but maybe you rub some more and just really start to feel those nerve endings at your hands. And then we're going to bring our energy ball to our body. And maybe it's arriving somewhere where you don't imagine, and that's okay. So if you want to send energy down to your legs, maybe your hands arrive on your hips. If your hands are on your belly, then maybe you're sending energy to your digestive functions, to your passions, to your recreation. And if you're at solar plexus, maybe you're sending yourself just a little bit of extra love and kindness, some joy, some confidence. And you're just checking in if there's too much fear in your life. And we want to just dial down the fear, because our birthright is meant to be blissful. It's meant to be happy. Even though there's stressors going on, go back to that caterpillar and just imagine the caterpillar turning to goo before the butterfly and the imaginal cells start to take over. And is it possible that you are an imaginal cell? You are the vibration of something higher and more beautiful, and this beautiful resonance of going from a cool crawling little caterpillar to, hey, I'm growing wings and I can fly. So let's set the intention for the rest of our day. Maybe you do a silent Om just to check in with the frequency. And we ask that all of your best energy is directed at yourself as you burn off your impurities. So having a big glass of water sometime soon, continuing your deep breathing, and knowing that when you think more positively, you attract positive to your life. See if you can eliminate words like don't, not, and no, because the mind doesn't know the difference. If you say, I don't want to see a pink elephant right now, I don't want to see one, but you can't help but see or think of this pink elephant. Or in my case today, it's blue elephant. So think in the positive. I want to create a yoga series. I am creating da-da-da-da-da. So figure out what's happening for you. Try to put it in a positive context. Melt away any fear. And we'll take one last breath here. Good. So wherever you are, we're going to wiggle our fingers and toes. We'll just come back into our body and feel like we've completed a beautiful practice today. And at the very least, even if you miss a day or you take a few days in between, try to take some deep breaths and maybe do just 3 yoga poses every day, just to keep you connected for your regular sadhana, your regular practice, daily practice. Bring the hands to the heart. Take a deep breath and just send out your love ahead of you today. And then we'll bring the hands to the third eye. We dedicate the merits of our practice to all sentient beings. May all beings be relieved of their suffering, and may we dwell together with great fruitfulness and harmony. The light in me greatly honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Wherever you are, I love you.